Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Vanland. Today we have something very special for you guys. I am at Rogue Vans in San Diego, and we're going to give you guys a tour of this big yellow beast back here, which is a van that has everything on it, and I mean everything that you could possibly think of for a Sprinter van. If you guys have never seen this van from Rogue Vans, you're missing out. They take it to the shows, and literally everyone that goes in it is totally dumbfounded. So I wanted to show it to you guys. We're gonna go and hook up with Santiago, who is the owner, go for a little drive and give you guys a tour of this beauty.
So we wanted to create a van that was so over the top. We wanted to push the concept of what was possible. We wanted to see if we threw every last single thing that we could ever possibly think of to go into a van, the most over the top, crazy, insane, gaudy, wild project, what would it be? And we came up with this gigantic yellow van. So we've got all of our rugged design concepts, exterior products. They did these custom ladders. These fit the bump outs. So these are like the flare space wide outs. So these are big. We've got our surf pole hooks. We've got our running boards. We've got one, this is a big crowd favorite. This is the snap-on tool cabinet. This occupies the space directly behind the steam room shower. So we've actually used the shit out of this toolkit. We've taken this van all over the country at this point. This has everything you need in it to, if this van breaks down, you can get it going back on the road. We've got a lot of our different brand partners and sponsors. XComp, these massive 37-inch by 13.5 R17 mountain mud terrain tires. These perform really, really well. We have a couple different sets of tires. They're all 37s and for different conditions. Custom fender flares, all of our Baja lights, on the underlighting, our van compass suspension. We've got all of our different power ports here. This is a J port for EV vehicle charging, which is fun. We've got our third ladder, 1, 2, 3 ladders, owl vans, rugged design concepts rear. We've got our triple Baja design lights down there that hook into the reverse circuit. We've got our Super 73 e-bike, and you might notice that it's on a hoist. So obviously, like, this is really tall. I'm like 6'2", and this is like right above my head. So there's just no way you're gonna get a bike up there. So we wanted to come up with a unique solution for this build. So literally, even just like to open the door, you've got our little wireless winch controller. And then when you go to crack the door, you hit the extend button, and then you can kind of just like let it open itself. That paired up with these awesome auto opens makes it really easy. We've got our Owl Vans monster box. It's filled with tons of gear, all from Deadman Off-Road. Our off-road jack, all that good stuff. Lots of snatch blocks and different linkages and compressors and ropes and recovery gear and all that good stuff. Exterior outlets, our custom fender flares that we manufactured in-house, full van compass suspension, custom exhaust, wrap. A lot of people really like that we wrapped the plastics. This was a collabed directly with 3M. This vinyl really kind of matches the vibe, which is, I kind of think of it as like kind of like Gucci camo, which is very much so like what this van's got going on. All the lights, the awning, the rooftop tent, tons of walkable solar. Yeah, windows throughout, sliders. You even got body mounted lights. Then you've got all the Baja lights. And then we make our way into our gorgeous interior. Maybe we should do the front too though. Got our CA tuned bumper. We've got our Factor 55 Pro Link. We've got our Warn Evo 12S. We've got our matching skid plates that are powder coated, our little hidden magnetic license plate mount, our Baja Designs SAE fog lights, the XL80s here and the ditch lights, all of this big array of LP9s up top. This was the sample vehicle that they patterned the S&B filters snorkel on. So this was brand new back when they first put it on. Yeah, lots more to come. We never did like that cool little like Terra wagon like piece here on the hood, and I kept meaning to, and I just never did.
So that's the only product in the industry that's not on this van.
I mean, yeah, pretty much for the most part. It has some version of everyone's everything on it. I mean, it's like, it's as over the top as, I mean, we like thought of everything, and everybody was really keen to get involved too, because they were like, wow, this is going to be really wild. Even like our cab here, we did full custom upholstery. We've got the custom PRP bags here, which for all like your soft goods storage. We took apart the dash, we took apart the seats, we reupholstered everything. Probably if I could go back in time, I would do aftermarket seats that we then, you know, like had made in matching upholstery, but you know, you can only do so much. But it's still like an upgrade, and we've got all these like nice little detailings things here. We've got our big sound system, which we've integrated into our custom upholstered headliner and the rear doors and the sub in the front of the bench. I mean, it's like a party on wheels. It is like so over the top. There is just so much going on here. We even have these owl vans, like this rear Molly panel setup with our matching Gerber axes, which happen to have the same kind of like dark earth color as all of our upholstery, because I'm just like a nerd, and like we just like geeked out and just geared this thing up as much as we could. This is like a fun, like this is cool, like how we've got like this little hangout space here. You get two people sitting on this bench, person sitting here, person sitting here. The table can like swivel to kind of like, you know, sit around with everybody. This is like a nice little hangout area, and then it also was another place that we could add in this custom black walnut and epoxy resin combo, so that we've got it on our countertops, we've got it on our upper cab doors, we've got it on our little wine fridge top, we've got it on our little inserts here. This is traditionally our bar. Normally we have this like stocked with bottles and stuff, or sometimes when we go to shows we do like promotional materials. But it just kind of gives like this really like cool, almost like cigar lounge like ambiance. So we've got, from the ground up, we've got heated floors with our AquaHot system, on-demand hot water, closed loop glycol system. We've got our cruising comfort 48 volt direct AC. This is the outlet right here. We've got our sunken mega flare bar slash, you know, kind of marketing materials area. So this normally is filled up with bottles. When the van's in motion, the bottles get stored in the bench. This is where they are right now. They're in here. This comes out like this because this actually has a little drop down. This has a little drop down thing. You click it, and then the Starlink router and all that stuff is arrayed on the back of the inside of the bench, kind of hidden. This is a wine fridge, so it just like keeps bottles really nicely chilled. I thought that was like a really fun and like bougie feature that like most vans don't have. This totally is like not meant to be in a van. We had to like really spend some time like dimensionally making like our faceplate perfect to like lock it into place. We've got our upper cabinets on either side. You know, they've got different like power elements to them. I just love like the way like these like kind of like look translucent in the light when they're opened. I think it like looks really cool. We've got our overhead lights here. This is tongue and groove cedar on the walls and on the roof. And then we have these LED lights actually dadoed into the tongue and groove cedar, which, you know, if you can imagine building this, there's like just so many, like, you can't mess this up spaces in here. It's like, it's not even funny. So yeah, that's kind of like this sort of area. Over here, we've got the sink. We've got our slide out trash can. This is where the espresso machine was made to be stored. It's got like its own little pull out. We just have a bunch of miscellaneous, you know, kind of like, just like odds and ends in here right now. You know, cause I'm gonna tell you guys right now, we use this van like all the time. So like this is just freshly come back from 2 weeks out. We were in Colorado, we were at Pikes Peak. We were in a bunch of different places. But that little slide out tray was actually originally designed to hold this Breville espresso machine. But we've actually found that the mounting for the espresso machine adhere really, really well to the countertop. So we would just leave it here and it never comes out. You notice we have a little mirror television right here. It's got like a cool little mountain scene. This is running off of our onboard computer. We have like a miniature Windows PC that lives inside of a control panel in this cabinet. Later, I'll show you the drop-down television touchscreen monitor that's in there, which these are mirrored together. So it's kind of like a media center. This is our audio system. So normally, this is like Fusion, which is owned by Garmin now. This is a Marine audio system, and it's powering 4 speakers in the base of this cabinet, 2 speakers in the headliner in the front, and then 2 6.5s in the rear, as well as a 12-inch sub in the front of the bench. And so this is kind of like our command center. This is our SPOD. This is like what controls our over 20 exterior lighting circuits. There's one here, there's one there. You can control the lights from either side. We've got our Fiamma awning and its control right here. We've got all of our RGB circuits. We've got our overhead dimmers. You know, all the lights are on a dimmer, and then we've got these nice RGBs located all throughout the van. We've got toe kick lights. We've got under cabinet lights that are all dimmable as well. Under cabinet lights here and there. We've got lights in the bed area back here. We've got our fans. We've got our little reading lights. We've got our little portable JBL speakers that go in tandem together. More upper cabinets and storage. The upper cabinets have automatic light features. So when you close the door, the lights turn off. When you open the door, the lights turn on. And again, you can see that cool, like kind of translucent effect with the epoxy that I just like love so much. We've got a cool little area for, like, you know, food and spices and cooking materials and stuff like that. This is very emblematic of like our typical, you know, kind of like CNC joinery style of like creating things. We've got our fridge here. This is a CR130 by Isotherm. And then these are all of our cabinets. So we did custom foam molded inserts here. This is a custom knife set by Half Face Blades in San Diego that they made for us for this project. We've got all of our different cutlery arrayed, and so every drawer has a different purpose. These are where we keep all the plates. We've got pots and pans. Down here, we've got all of our like larger, there's like a tea kettle, there's a soup ladle. This is like a cool custom little L-shaped drawer, which notches around the wheel well, which is behind me. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's a tight space and we like make the most of it. This is one of the cooler elements of the van. So this shower is pretty unique. You can tell like these are solid doors. These are opening like this, so a lot of people see this and they're like, well, I wouldn't want people to see me going to the bathroom. And to which I respond, what is more intimate than seeing your partner defecate? No. This is a show van. This is meant to be really flashy, and so what good would it do if, you know, you couldn't see inside of here, right? So we've got our Plex inserts, and then the reason why these have these latches and everything, the reason why these are like together like this is because there's actually gasket material built into the backside of these. And the reason for that is because this is actually a steam room shower. So you can see like this is super big and open. This can be mounted here. It can also be mounted floating above the drain. So you kind of have the option. If you want to get in it and like occupy it like in this way, like it's totally fine. You can like sit down, you can use the toilet, all that kind of stuff. You can also move this completely out if you want to just have dedicated shower time. But you'll see that there's a little button here and there's a little nozzle down there. And what that is a steam element. So like, we got a little bit of water. We're gonna let it heat up, but my goal is for you guys to see how amazing this steam is. And so the steam generator also, again, I've covered it in other interviews that I've given, but it's our own design. It's my design. I basically took a steam cleaner and modded it so that it would work with a pulse width modulator, a DC switch, AC to DC relay, and like a series of things. So and with an actuator for the water, and yeah, at the end of the day, what you get is really good steam, and it's something like I hadn't seen before either, and I wanted to, you know, kind of push the boundaries like everything else in this van. This will take probably 5 minutes to start producing steam, so you'll just have like a trickle of like basically ultra hot water, and then as the steam and pressure builds, it's gonna turn to just pure steam pretty soon here. It should be drawing like 160 amps right now, which you'll be like, oh, 160 amps, like that's really extreme. But I mean, we have 28 kilowatt hours. I mean, that's like 2.5 Tesla Powerwalls worth of batteries at 48 volts. So like, right now, we're at 52.9 volts. We're discharging at a rate of 544 watts, which is like 10 amps at 48 volts. And like, that's like, this thing doesn't even feel that. I mean, we could turn the AC on and be like constantly using hot water with the steam on, and like, it's still, like, we wanted the battery bank to be so superlative. We wanted it just to be like super extra. So those are industrial 7 kilowatt hour batteries. There's 4 of them in parallel. So like, they're not typically used in like, you know, RVs or in vans. They're normally meant for like large industrial like applications where you'd need like a 48 volt power source. But yeah, they're awesome. I love big batteries, like massive batteries. And what you'll see later, they sit super flat and the weight distribution of them is great. I mean, when we were driving, you could tell like like everything feels really like centered and stuff. And I think the batteries being right over the rear axle, really down low, like really helps this thing not feel top heavy. So we've got our 17 by 22 inch sink. This is a little cutting board insert. Yeah, you got all our like matching like copper detailing, burnished copper. Yeah, really nice little sink and head assembly there. Yeah, I just wanted it all to feel like really nice, like I don't know exactly with like the faucet accessories what look I was going for, but I know for sure with like the walnut and the epoxy inlay and like the rich woods and everything like that. Like I don't know, I got like this idea of like a rustic, like luxury cabin smoking room. Like you're sitting there with like your decanter of like whiskey and it's like all dark and moody and like, you know, but then it's like bright yellow on the outside and huge with like tons of things. Over here, we've got our closet. It's our nice little closet space. Again, more black walnut, cedar. All of our cabinets are Wilson Art traceless. It's black on the outside, kind of like charcoal gray on the inside. And then over here, these are super skinny little drawers. And then we've got a plate here to work on all of our plumbing. It's important that even though this is like a super wild van, like we still want it to be serviceable, right? Then if we come back here, yeah, so we've got our bed. We've got our bed space here with our flares, our matching upholstery. We've got RGB side, awning style window. Yeah, these are super handy. This is one from Arctic Tern, like for airflow. Yeah, let's check out the garage. So we've got our systems cabinets here. One of the cool things about this space, so this is normally where we keep all of our show stuff, and we wanted to kind of show people like how open this can be. There's a little secret hidden drawer down there at the foot where this opening was. That's another reason why I wanted to have this open, like a clear line of sight all the way through. We wanted it to be really full and full featured, but we also wanted it to feel like fairly open. So we wanted people to like have a notion of what they could do in this space if it was their van. We've got a really impressive electrical array. There's no point in being modest. It's freaking cool. There's 12 volt, there's 24 volt, there's 48 volt, there's 120. We've got multiple step down converters. We've got the Lynx power distribution system. We've got 2 separate charge controllers for our 2 different solar arrays. We've got the Bantam Spod, 18 different controllable circuits there. We've got the Fiona awning control. We've got the Multi Plus 2, 3 kW. We've got the Servo GX and all of the different relay ports, tons of different conditional programming, tons of different relays. We've got the 4G LTE Victron unit, which takes a SIM card and allows your system to have cellular data. We've got our Starlink, of course, that we already went over in the front, which is also supporting connectivity for the system. I can log in and diagnose this system using the Victron VRM portal from anywhere in the world, which is a really cool thing if you have customers that are wanting to take your vehicles to Africa or to take them to Australia, to take them different places to explore. We've got all of our lighting controllers, we've got all of our fuse towers, our breakers, and then in the center here, we've got this pull-out garage slide, which is a 500-pound rated slide, full extension slide, so it comes all the way out to the very end of the hinge. This thing really comes in handy, and it's super solid. In another video, we had 2 people like sitting on it, and I pulled it out, which was fun. And then underneath these, this is where the batteries live. So this is where we have all this logo and branding. We've got big batteries I was mentioning, 28 kilowatt hours at 48 volts, just a tremendous amount of battery power. We've got our AquaHot glycol heater system on the left-hand side in the rear. All of our different distribution sources for our radiant heated floor system, which we make here in-house. All of our different low water points and drains and overflows. We've got 2 separate pump circuits. And we have a tertiary pump, which services the steam element up there. We've got a transfer switch here, which switches in between shore power and transfers in between shore power and the EV charging port. We've got our dual stage Evo X2 water filters. We've got our little fire extinguisher here in the corner. Our filters, our accumulators, everything ready to go. Oh, and then we have these fun little Baja Designs, little like area light push button guys here in the corners. This like our classic styling, our upholstery that we do on all the vans, everything kind of matching. Just like little details like this, like these little powder coated step trims, which we kind of put throughout the van. You know, bringing in our wrap here. Oh yeah, and then there's the crane too, of course, up above us. Secondary cameras. I guess we haven't even gotten to the roof. So we have a couple different iterations of this build up here. First off, we've got our walkable solar panel by Custom Marine Products. That's a 900 watt array. Those are 65 watt panels, all in a series parallel connection. So that's 900 total, and those actually span the entire length of the whole rack. Then you've got our custom flat mount Starlink down there at your feet. You've got a smart ground distribution box. That's a concept that I came up with utilizing a chassis ground and one central hub. So we just like ran 2-aught cable to that and basically just got like all the ground we could ever want for the roof circuits. This is a rooftop tent. This is a Mamba 3. This got added on well after we built the van. The idea behind this was just another cool feature, and so we just stuck like a 480 watt solar panel on top of it, which is why we have 2 different solar charge controllers. So when this, if you want to take the rooftop tent off, you just delete this solar panel, and then this whole array works in tandem. And then of course behind me, this is our crane hoist. This system works super well, actually. Like it's actually kind of shocking how well it works. It really can pull up a bike, no problem. Makes it super easy. One person can pull it up and down. We custom welded this whole thing, and we actually made it compatible. So it's all flat pack. We have it sent out, plasma cut, and then we weld it in-house. We are actively developing different iterations of this product. Specifically, we're developing one where any van with the right components that we would sell would be able to have its own custom mounted crane, because we've had a ton of people contact us interested in that. One thing that we just straight up deleted from the build, which it used to have, which there's a lot of, I'm like, we're in foliage because we're so high. But if you look over here, this was a pedestal mount for a wind turbine generator. And that was something that I had heard about people doing, like in different like hardcore off-grid like groups. So we took a 48 volt wind turbine generator. It has its control box externally mounted. We were able to get about 50 watts, you know, like while either driving or you know, just like being in a decent amount of wind. The idea behind the wind turbine generator, number one, I mean, like obviously this van is just meant to be so over the top. So we were like, okay, like what other features like have we, like can we do? And it was like, oh yeah, wind power, why not? So we took that guy. But at the end of the day, we just ended up getting rid of it because, I mean, like, it really is just a shock and awe feature. It's not like a super functional thing. 50 watts, we've got a 5 kW alternator, like 50 watts in exchange for having like this giant spinning thing. Like, also it got in the way of the rooftop tent. So we thought it made more sense to kind of just get rid of it. We built this van. It took a team of 16 people, 4 months total to finish the project. It was a tremendous financial, physical, emotional burden building this. I mean, it really was like above and beyond any project I'd ever taken on. It was an obsession. It was, you know, and a lot of people thought I was absolutely crazy. People were like, I cannot believe you're doing this. And people who actually understand like what it takes to build this, they're like, how did you not like bankrupt yourself building something like this? Because obviously my shop couldn't do anything but build this. And we needed to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in man hour and material. I would say that this van probably took close to $500,000 in just straight up costs to actually build, which is ludicrous. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I factored it out. If I was charging regular shop labor to build this van, we would literally have to sell it for like $2 million or something if I was charging regular shop hours with the metrics that we use standard to like figure out what's the right price. So when we first came out with this, everyone was like, how much is it? And I said 750,000. And people were like, that's insane. I can't believe it. like, that's ridiculous. Like, we got so many things. And I mean, I think a lot of people kind of miss the point. Like, we didn't set out to build and sell a $750,000 van. We more set out to build the craziest van that we possibly could. But of course, you have to put a price tag on something like that. People are going to want to know. So like, what is the price of 750? Now, if I had to do it again, I could do it a lot quicker. I could do it a lot more efficiently. I could save a lot of costs. I would say a build like this, you know, could start at around 400,000, and then, you know, demonstrably go up, you know, from there. 500 would not be out of the question. But this takes like a really particular client. It takes a really particular person. I mean, like, there's a lot of parts of the country where $400,000 or $500,000 is the cost of a really nice home. I own a home that costs roughly that much. So like, you know, it's not for everybody, and it's certainly not like what we're doing 9 to 5. We do a lot of other types of builds, but I will say that, like, I think that we have really made a name for ourselves for pushing the envelope and doing like really high level, high end work that is extremely complicated, and not messing it up, and doing it correctly, and doing it in a way that like has style, panache, that people can like look at and be like, wow, that's there. Like, that's really there. You know, if you want presence and you want really good systems and all those things incorporated together, I think that's what Rogue does, is we are able to build our customers' dreams and make them a reality. We're also able to build really good floor plans that people can just like grab and go. I mean, we've got units available for sale right now that you can just like come and purchase. So we kind of do a little bit of everything. We're RVIA certified, we're a Mercedes expert upfitter. We do have all of our ducks in a row. We're an Eberspacher warranty center. So we do all this kind of different work. Well, we're also an Aquahot warranty center. So we do all this different type of work, suspension stuff, obviously. We do service jobs. We take care of fleets. We have a very diverse range of things that we do, and it's a lot of moving pieces, but we love vans.